I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger or brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. I see trees that are green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I hear babies cry, watch them grow, and they'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? But they're really saying, I love you. the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" But they're really saying, "I love you." I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, ooh, what a wonderful world. People get ready, there's a train a-comin'. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board.
I know your life on earth was troubled, and only you could know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil. You were no stranger to the rain. So go rest high on that mountain. The sun, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven and shout love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried the day you left us. We gathered round your grave to grieve. Wish I could see angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. So go rest high on that mountain. The sun, your work on earth is done.
I heard your voice in the wind today, and I turned to see your face. The warmth of the wind caressed me as I stood silently in that place. I felt your touch in the sun today as its warmth filled the sky. I closed my eyes waiting for your embrace, and my spirit soared high. I saw your eyes in the window pane as I watched the falling rain. It seemed as each raindrop fell, it quietly said your name. I held you close in my heart today. It made me feel complete. You may have died, but you are not gone. You will always be a part of me. As long as the sun shines, the wind blows, the rain falls, you will live on inside me forever. For that is all my heart knows. Matthew and Melinda, she will live on inside you forever, for that is all that your heart knows. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Christine's son Matthew, her daughter Melinda, the grandbabies and great-grandbabies who she adored, I welcome you here today. Welcome also Christine's wider family and friends, her brothers and sisters, her brothers-in-law and sisters-in-law, her nieces and her nephews, and the many people whose lives have been touched by hers. For those watching online, having been unable to join us here, please know that you are very much part of this time of celebration of Christine's life. We've gathered this morning because Christine is no longer with us, and there is, of course, great sadness here today. There is sadness because someone who has been such a strong and familiar presence in so many lives is no longer here in the way we would want her to be. But today is not only about saying goodbye, it's about remembering Christine Ann Blake, remembering the woman she was, the life she lived, the people she loved, the things that mattered to her, and all those very particular Christine moments that will now become the stories that you tell about her. Christine was quite simply her own woman. She was strong. She was opinionated. She called a spade a spade. You always knew where you stood with her. But underneath that strength was an enormous capacity to love. If you needed a mum, she was there. If you needed a nan, she was there. And if you needed someone to have your back, you could be pretty darn certain that Christine would be standing somewhere nearby. She tried to treat everyone equally, although, as the family knows, there were perhaps one or two sneaky favourites. She was down to earth, she had a wonderful sense of humour, and she wasn't one for putting on airs and graces. She was Christine, and that is exactly how we want to remember her this morning. Today we'll hear her story through Matthew's eulogy, through the words of Melinda, Sophie and Mahalia, and through photographs and music that she herself has chosen for this farewell. And perhaps as we move through the service, there will be moments when the sadness catches us. There may also be smiles. There may even be laughter. And I think Christine would be perfectly happy with that, because a life as full as hers should leave us with more than tears. It should leave us with memories. So her story is now going to be told by someone who knew her not just as a mother, but as the woman behind that title of mum. Matthew has prepared Christine's eulogy, and he is going to share her story with us. As he does, we will hear about the life of a woman who was shaped by a hard beginning, who became an extraordinarily hard worker, and who loved her family fiercely, and who never stopped being Christine. Matthew, take your time when you're ready.
I apologise in advance if this is a little longer than expected. I found it hard to put pen to paper to begin with, but once I started, I couldn't seem to stop. If I'm unable to finish this, I'll ask Denise to continue on for me, please. Much like my father, this story is dedicated to a woman with many names. Auntie and sister by a lot of family. Nan, Nana and Grandnan by her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren, or as she liked calling them, her grandbabies, and by all of the unofficially adopted grandchildren and great-grandchildren also. Dear and dearest, and sometimes Christine by Dad. Mum, Ma and old girl by myself and her daughters. Christine Blake. After proofreading the lovely service proposed by Denise, much of Mum's story and self has or will be touched on today. With you all now, I'll touch upon a few points from my own perspective, starting from the beginning. Being raised in a rural area of Elliot, the youngest of a family of 13, like most baby boomers of the time, life wasn't always easy. She had some wonderful memories and stories from back then, but as I learnt much later in life, very recently in fact, she also had some not so wonderful memories. This aside, it was never in doubt the deepest love she held in her heart for her own mother and father and her brothers and sisters. In the first 30 years of Mum's life, she had a previous relationship and a previous marriage before finally meeting and marrying my father. This previous relationship and previous marriage came with her own trials and tribulations, but she never seemed to regret them for the most part. They helped make her the lady she became, helped her appreciate the loving connection to Dad when they finally met, and of course it gave her 3 loving daughters that she adored. During her life, she worked hard, but at the time, I don't believe she viewed it as working hard. It was just a part of her life and a part of this generation. And for years I've said Mum and also Dad were the last of the really hard-working generation. No matter if the work was paid work or work in her own home, doing the cleaning. Her housework back in the day was no joke. Mini spring cleans 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. She would pump her country and western music and her old sloppy love songs, whether us kids liked it or not. And she would meticulously clean top to bottom, one end of the house to the other. And this would take the whole day. But again, at the time, she enjoyed doing this, and she didn't seem to view it as hard work. For employment, she worked at the Burnie paper mill, or as she called it, the pulp. Dad and her done house clean-outs for the housing department. They also done night cleaning at the wharf and in town. And later in her career, she worked, as you guessed it, a cleaner and a part-time teacher's aide for Montello Primary School, Acton Primary School and her beloved Special Support School. Around 44 years ago, Mum and Dad met. Soon after that, they were married. Soon after that again, they had me. I came into this world with 2 loving parents and 5 older half-sisters. But the half part of that never really applied to me. I have always and will always view them as just sisters, even if the background is a little bit more confusing than that. The confusing part was trying to explain to my pupils in school that I had 2 sisters, both named Tracy, which none of them understood or believed at the time. Over the years, Mum and I had a few back and forths with our relationship, as I guess most children and parents do. Mum had some minor issues after my very rocky birth. After that, I was very much a mummy's boy. Dad, bless his cotton socks, didn't really have the patience to have me out in the garden and the garage with him, so I mostly stayed inside with Mum, helping her cook and clean. Then my terrible teens phase came, along with a dark cloud over both of our heads after the sudden passing of my sister and her daughter Tracy. This unfortunately drove a bit of a wedge between us. After some time and grieving, we came back together again, and our relationship continued to grow and flourish over the many years after, including the opposite effect that occurred after the unfortunate and sudden passing of my second sister and Mum's second daughter, Cherie. Our bond grew ever more during this time, although, in honesty, at this time, I was a bit more of a dad's boy, as you would know and understand if you attended his funeral and heard his story from me. After Dad passed, we had the strongest relationship of all. We were each other's rock, and I doubt either of us would have been able to cope and get through this time without one another. It was hard, it was sad, and it was tough, but I'm also glad that we had each other. For those that knew Mum and Dad, knew their relationship was something special. Never divorced, hardly ever fought or had a disagreement, and lived in the same lovely home for 43 years that they ended up buying and renovating over time to make it what it is today. The longing that Dad had for Mum before he passed, when Mum was in hospital in Burnie and Dad was in hospital in Hobart, and that special moment they had when they finally saw each other again, along with the heartbreak, sadness and loneliness Mum experienced after Dad's passing, really cemented the true deep love they had for one another. I could literally go on for hours with stories like this. Some of us have done already or will do in the future, as we talk about and remember the ones we have loved and lost. In the end, stories and memories are all we have left of the ones that we have lost, and we must continue to remember them every way we can to keep them with us in our hearts. I could go on for hours, I'm sure, and I could go on for hours, and I'm sure I've missed a lot. But in closing, Mum could be a tough old cookie. She could be outspoken. She could at times not hold her tongue when she probably should have. But with the cons come the pros. It was undeniable the love, care and dedication she had for her husband, her children and her family. I love you always and forever, old girl. I cherish the moment we can meet again on the other side. Love, Matthew.
Well done, Matthew. You did it well for Dad, and you've just done it beautifully for Mum. Beautifully written and beautifully delivered. Thank you. There's something very special about photographs at a farewell such as this. They don't simply show us what someone looked like, they take us back to places, back to occasions, back to people who were important, and sometimes one photograph can bring back an entire story. Christine was a woman who loved making things. In her younger days, she was a wonderful seamstress. Having grown up, as Matthew said, as the youngest of 13 children on a farm at Elliot, where hand-me-downs were simply part of life, she took enormous pleasure in making beautiful new things for her own children and grandchildren. She made clothes, she made curtains. She created homes where everything had its place, and she loved the occasions when all her family were together. Christmas, Easter, birthdays, family gatherings. She loved the traditions, and heaven help anyone who tried to interfere with them. Her Christmas biscuits would be underway by October, and when her children were young, even their bedrooms were something of a masterpiece. They were immaculate. They were beautifully done, and importantly, they were for sleeping in, not for playing in. That was Christine, proud of her work, proud of her home, proud of her family, and always happiest when the people she loved were gathered around her. So this set of photographs gives us another glimpse into that life. Enjoy.
Back through the years I go wandering once again, back to the seasons of my youth. I recall a box of rags that someone gave us, and how my mama put the rags to use. There were rags of many colors, but every piece was small, and I didn't have a coat, and it was away down in the fall. Mama sewed the rags together, so in every piece with love she made my coat of many colors that I was so proud of. As she sewed, she told a story from the Bible she had read about a coat of many colors Joseph wore, and then she said, perhaps this coat will bring you good luck and happiness. And I just couldn't wait to wear it, and Mama blessed it with a kiss. My coat of many colors that my mama made for me, made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly. Although we had no money, I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors my mama made for me. So with patches on my breeches and holes in both my shoes, in my coat of many colors, I hurried off to school, just to find the others laughing and making fun of me in my coat of many colors my mama made for me. And oh, I couldn't understand it, for I felt I was rich, and I told them all the love my mama sewed in every stitch. And I told them all the story mama told me while she sewed, and how my coat of many colors was worth more than all their clothes. But they didn't understand it, and I tried to make them see that one is only poor only if they choose to be. Now I know we had no money, but I was rich as I could be, in my coat of many colors my mama made for me, made just for me.
For you, there'll be no crying. For you, the sun will be shining, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before.
beautiful memories. She was beautiful, absolutely. Those photographs remind us that a person's life is never just one story. As Matthew said, Christine was mum, she was nana, she was grandnan, she was a sister-in-law, and a friend. And each person who knew her will carry a slightly different Christine in their heart. Today we're going to hear from 3 people who knew her in 3 very special ways. A daughter, a granddaughter, and a great-granddaughter. 3 very strong women, 3 generations from Christine. Their words are their own memories of Christine, the things they loved, the things they will miss, and perhaps some of those little Christine stories that could never be told quite as well by anyone else. So Melinda, Sophie, and Mahalia, would you like to come forward?
This is a poem that I wrote Mum in grade 6, and when I was actually cleaning out some of the clothes I found it. So it's called What is a Mother? A mother is someone who will always hold your hand, give you advice when you need it, or just to simply understand. A mother gives you all her love no matter what you do, and even when you make mistakes, she still believes in you. A mother is your dearest friend, your most devoted fan, the one who takes an interest in each venture that you plan. A mother is a cheerful smile, a word of sympathy. She is everything that makes a home the nicest place to be. The pain's just real. Thank you for everyone who's been there and supported Matthew and I. We really appreciate it.
Today I want to say a few words about my beautiful Nan. Nan was the most caring Nan I could ever have asked for. She loved all her children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren so deeply, and you could always feel how much her family meant to her. I'm going to miss so much about her. I'll miss the laughs we shared, the conversations we had, and all the little moments that I now hold so closely in my heart. There is so many memories I wish I could go back to and experience just one more time. I wish I could have one more conversation with you, hear you laugh one more time, and tell you how much you mean to me. Nan, thank you for the love you gave us, for always caring and for giving us so many beautiful memories to carry with us. Although you're no longer here, the love you gave to our family will never leave us. You will always be a part of who we are, and you will never be forgotten. I'm going to miss you more than words can say. Rest peacefully, my beautiful Nan. I love you, and I always will.
The day we've dreaded has almost ended. Though tears may fall and voices may shake, our memories will make history. You are a comfort, our guiding light, the Nan every grandkid and great-grandkid needed. Nana was always there for a chat, a cry, or even just silence. Having sleepovers with Nan is a memory I'll never forget. Your home was a place of comfort. The late nights spent talking about everything and nothing. Every night with Nan ended with a bowl of dessert, lollies, and Nan falling asleep in the chair. The barbecues in the backyard, telling Nan I'm thirsty so she would slip me some Pepsi in a 101 Dalmatian bottle that at one point we all drank out of. The promises I made by holding your hand as we walk. I remember looking up and saying one day I'll work as a doctor to be there to help you. But I didn't think that time had such a short path. Life had other plans, but I'll keep my promise. We thank you for every hug, every story, every laugh, and showing us what unconditional love feels like. We will miss your smile, your warmth, and the kindness you shared. Though you're no longer by our side, your love remains in our hearts. Every cherished memory reminds us of how fortunate we were to have with you the time we shared. Forever missing you, Nan.
Well done, girls. Thank you so much. As I said, 3 generations. And perhaps that is one of the things that meant the most to Christine. She loved seeing her family grow. She loved the babies. She loved birthdays and special occasions, traditions, having everyone together. And in these last weeks, when her health was failing and the end was drawing closer, she made a point of being there for some very special moments. She saw Deegan's birthday. She saw Matthew's birthday. She had the wonderful day out at the Penguin Oval watching the Tassie Devils play the other weekend. She had a visit from the whole family. And she even got to see Sophie's gender reveal for her new baby. And of course, Christine was right. She knew it was going to be a girl. Those were not little things to Christine. They were milestones. They were the things she had decided she wanted to live long enough to see. And somehow that tough old cookie did that. She'd been a fighter for a very long time. Her doctor called her his miracle because she simply kept going. There were times when everyone thought surely she must be nearing the end. But apparently Christine would have other ideas. She had spent time in hospital. She knew her journey was becoming harder, but she wanted to be home. And with the wonderful care of the palliative care team and Southern Cross team, she was able to return home surrounded by the people who understood that dignity, choice, and being in her own place mattered to her. And she kept going. She reached those milestones, and then when she was ready, she was ready. She had made so many of the decisions about today herself. She chose the music, she chose the poems, she had a very clear idea of how she wanted things to be. And perhaps that is one final piece of Christine's strength. She was still Christine, right to the end. So we have another set of photographs to continue her story.
You don't know how you met me, you don't know why you can't turn around and say goodbye. All you know is when I'm with you, I make you free and swim through your veins like a fish in the sea. I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. I'm not worried about the ring you wear, 'cause as long as no one knows, then nobody can care. You're feeling guilty, and I'm well aware, but you don't look ashamed, and baby, I'm not scared. I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. sea. I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. Singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. Singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me.
On the bank of the river stood Running Bear, young Indian brave. On the other side of the river stood his lovely Indian maid. Little White Dove was her name, such a lovely sight to see. But their tribes fought with each other, so their love could never be. Running Bear loved Little White Dove with a love big as the sky. Running Bear loved Little White Dove with a love that couldn't die. He couldn't swim the raging river, 'cause the river was too wide. He couldn't reach Little White Dove waiting on the other side. In the moonlight he could see her throwing kisses across the way. Her little heart was beating faster, waiting there for her brave. Running Bear loved Little White Dove with a love big as the sky. Running Bear loved Little White Dove with a love that couldn't die. Running Bear dove in the water, Little White Dove did the same, and they swam out to each other. Through the swirling stream they came. As their hand touched and their lips met, the raging river pulled them down. Now they'll always be together in that happy hunting ground. Running Bear loved Little White Dove with a love big as the sky. Running Bear loved Little White Dove with a love that couldn't die.
So much love in there for her family, beautiful photos. And so now we come towards the end of our time here in the chapel. Christine Ann Blake was born on the 27th of April 1953 and she died on the 4th of August 2026. Between those two dates is a life that was not always easy. She knew hard work, she knew illness, she knew disappointment. She knew what it was to grow up as the youngest of 13 children on a farm where life was, where life was about making do and looking after one another. She went on to become an incredibly strong woman. She did tough physical work at the pulp. Later she worked in cleaning and spent time as a teacher's aide. At home she worked hard too. As Matthew said, she loved to clean. Not a quick flick like I do with the duster, a proper clean. 3 times a week, every room, at least an hour. Because when she did things, she did it properly. And of course, we can't talk about Christine's life without acknowledging another very long-standing love in her life, her cigarettes. They were, without question, her second love. And after all those years, I suspect Christine would be quite amused that we were mentioning them here today. She had a wonderful sense of humour. Although she could be stubborn and outspoken, particular, she was also incredibly loyal and generous in all the ways that mattered. There's another part of Christine's story that makes today especially poignant. Because today's not only about Christine leaving us, it's about where she's going. For many years, Adrian was the great love of her life, and we heard that incredible love story earlier. And today, after all the hard miles of these last months, we can imagine her final journey not simply as an ending, but as a homecoming. She is going now to be laid to rest with Adrian, reunited with the man she loved. And perhaps that is why, despite the tears we shed today, there can also be a quiet sense of peace. She's done the hard work. She's fought the illness. She saw that there's another little girl going to come into the family. And when she'd seen what she needed to see, she was ready. So now it's time for us to accompany her on her final journey, to say goodbye and to let go, and to hold close all that she leaves behind. So we will now take her final journey to the Burney Lawn Cemetery. You are very welcome to accompany her on this journey, but if you'd prefer to remain here in the chapel, refreshments will be available on the family's return. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you all please stand as we take her on her journey?
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning hours. She calls me country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than